The pornography is as much a drug as anything out there on the illegal market. And in this video, I'm going to tell you whether porn-induced brain damage is a real phenomenon. If it is, what its mechanism of action is, and how you might be able to offset its effects and recover the function of your brain. First, a little bit about myself. I have over 20 years of lived experience in active addiction, and I'm here to give back a little bit to others who might be struggling like I was struggling. So I want you to get locked in before I dial this in. Porn-induced brain damage is a very real phenomenon, and the mechanism of action is that porn acts on prefrontal cortex of our brain, the prefrontal region of our brain lobes. So the prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive functioning, executive control. It's the executive center of the brain. And this region of the brain is responsible for impulse control, for behavior, and directing our decisions. It's our executive. Think of the executive like an executive CEO or an executive chair on a board. It's the one who's making the decisions. So if we have a healthy and strong prefrontal cortex, then we have the strength and the resources to make healthy and wise decisions. Now, porn comes in as it affects the prefrontal cortex region of our brain. It diminishes the gray matter in the prefrontal cortex. So when it diminishes the gray matter, we have less matter available, less physical space for neurons and neural pathways to proliferate. Thus, we have diminished capability in the prefrontal cortex region of our brain, thereby limiting the power or the functioning of the executive center. So there's something called the law of, or the principle of uncertainty, the uncertainty principle, or the complementarity principle. And the principle states simply that when we gain information in one area, we lose information in another area. So it's like tipping the balance of a scale. You put a little bit of more information on one scale, you're going to be lessening the weight of the other scale, and the other scale will go up, the other scale will go down, right? Up and down. And the same thing is true with storing information in our brain and the operation of the different regions in the brain. So when we diminish the prefrontal cortex region by diminishing the gray matter through porn-induced brain damage, which is done by impulsivity, because when we watch porn, we're gratifying our base pleasures, instant gratification, and that leads to low impulse control. And the executive center is responsible for impulse control. So we're not able to control our impulses if we're gratifying our base desires, seeking instant gratification. We're training ourselves to bolster or to seek out our impulses, to gratify and please our impulses, our drives. And that is located in the limbic system of the brain. The limbic system of the brain is responsible for our biological drives, our impulses, pleasure principle. If you've ever heard of the id from Sigmund Freud, his pleasure principle of the id, it would probably be, today we'd be calling that the limbic system, right? We can't really pinpoint where the id is, but if what the id drives impulse and desire and pleasure, and that's what the limbic system is responsible for. So when we're gratifying ourselves through instant gratification with pornography, short form media content, bottomless social media feeds, shorts, all this short form dopamine hits, it's destroying the gray matter in our prefrontal cortex, and through impulsivity and through gratifying our desires, we're strengthening the limbic system because we're giving into impulse. We're becoming impulsive. So the more porn we watch, the more impulsive we are, the less control we have, and this spills over into all the areas of our life. So as a man, as males, this pornography is inhibiting our development. We're not maturing into men. We're being placated with the release of our sexual energy. When we're releasing it to pornography, to an artificial stimulus, we're signaling to our brain, dopamine reward system, and our neurochemical messenger system that we are being satisfied, that our sexual drive and sexual needs and urges are being satisfied because we're releasing our seed to these digital women, these digital distractions, and it's releasing dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and prolactin. Now, it's the latter two that are responsible for the placation or the placating of modern men, which is resulting in lower rates of fertility, lower social bonding, pair mating, because oxytocin is responsible for increasing the pair bonding between mates. So after you have sex, you release serotonin and oxytocin, and this increases, it's a relationship chemical to pair bond, the cuddle hormone, that's oxytocin plus serotonin. So that's what develops the physical relationship and the emotional relationship, so that the parents or the mates who just copulated, who just had sex together, will have a better chance of raising the child. And that, from an evolutionary standpoint, gives more chance of success for that child to be raised up successfully and survive if it has parents to provide for it. So that's what oxytocin and serotonin are responsible for. And then dopamine reinforces the desire for that. But prolactin in the men signals that we've just released, that we've just satiated our sexual urge, our sexual need. So we don't need to be going out and seeking that from a natural woman anymore, because we've just signaled to our body and our brains that we've already achieved that. So when we're releasing it to the artificial porn, we're signaling to ourselves that we don't need to go and look for a mate, that we're good where we are, we're satisfied, there's no need to do anything else, because we reached the highest level of achievement of mankind, of humanity, which is procreating, right? That's like the end of the line for biological imperative. So there's all this chemical neurobiology, science that's going on within us when we're watching porn and releasing our seed and not partaking in the organic ritual, the organic pattern of being social, of having in real life relationships, of mating, of pair bonding, of child rearing. We're replacing all of that with digital distractions, with pornography, and it's ruining us as men. It's ruining young men. It's ruining generations. Generations are ruined now because of this. And as far as I'm concerned, the pornography is as much a drug as anything out there on the illegal market. So this is a quick rundown on how pornography is ruining the young generations of men and how porn induces brain damage. Now, if you like what I say, give me a like and subscribe. Check out this video for more.